Welcome back. We're on day 3 of Unit 8. We're going to review tonight how to find the slope of a line and how to draw graphs using 2 points and using the slope. So let's get started. Yes?
Mama, Dad called and he wants to know how to calculate slope.
Okay. Thank you. So how do we calculate the slope when we have 2 points? Remember our easy little method? We write down our ordered pair, and the first point is 3, 4, and the second point is -2, -1. And we're going to subtract the second point from the first point. Draw a line. This is the change in y. So it's 4 minus a -1. Change in x is 3 minus a -2. This will become positive. Scoot it over a little bit. This will become positive 5. This will also become positive 5. So the slope then of our line reduces to 1. So this is one thing you'll want to get in your notes. How to draw graphs and find the slope. So what you'll be given is a set of points like these, 3, 7, and -1, -1. The first thing you want to do is take the points and plot them on a graph. Connect the points with a line, calculate the slope, and then stop and ask yourself, what does this mean? So let's do one of these examples. Okay, I have here a pretty large piece of graph paper. You'll remember it's called the coordinate plane. We have the x-axis and the y-axis. I've labeled them both, and I've put the numbers on the axis. And remember to always put the arrows on the end of your lines to show the lines go on forever. So now the first point we have is 3, 7. Remember, x-coordinate always comes first, so it's x equals 3. I go over 1, 2, 3 steps, and up 7 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is the point, 3, 7. Second point is -1, -2. Start at the origin, go -1 step, and down 1 step. This is the point, -1, -1. Step 2 in the directions told us to connect the points with a line. So let's go ahead and connect our points with a line. Right there. Put an arrow on both ends of the line. And typically when we do this, guys, we extend the line all the way to the edge of the graph paper that we're working with. That's just how you do that. Okay, now we need to calculate the slope. Step 3 was to calculate the slope. Using the method we already know how to do, subtract second point from the first point. Change in y is 7 minus a -1. Change in x is 3 minus a -1. These will both go positive. Subtracting a negative is like adding the opposite. Same for the denominator. So our slope is 8 over 4, which can be simplified to equal 2. So the slope of this line is equal to 2. So now's the last step. We stop and ask ourselves, what does this mean? Here we are zoomed in. We've taken our 2 points, plotted them on the graph. We've taken a line and connected them. We've taken the 2 points and calculated the slope, which was originally 8 over 4, which simplifies to 2. But always let's remember that this is actually 2 over 1. So what this means is the change in the y direction is 2 for every change of 1 in the x direction. So let's start down here, right here at this point, because it crosses the the grid very nicely right here. In fact, it crosses right on top of this line. So, if I go up 2 steps, up 2, and over 1 in the positive direction, up 2 and over 1, this is where I cross the grid. So there's the, if we kind of show the slope, that's the slope of this line. Now, I should be able to go up 2 more steps and over 1 more step and cross the graph again, which I can, and up 2 more and over 1 more, and I cross the graph again. So this is just a way to show yourself this is what it means. Every time I go take 1 step in the positive x direction, I'm going to go up 2 steps in the positive y direction. There's your slope. Okay, so the question is, what do we do if we are given a line, but we're not given the points? Well, how do we calculate the slope? All we do is we just pick the points. So right here I have a line, and I've decided that I'm going to pick off the point 3, -2, and I want to use that as one of my points. I counted over 3 and then down 2. Now I want to use the point 0, -2. So I'm going to start at 0 and then just go down the -2. So I have 2 points and I have a line. So we're kind of right back where we were on the previous example. We're ready to calculate slope. -2 minus a -2 is going to equal 0. Change in the x direction is 3 minus 0, which is equal to 3. Our slope is 0. The slope of this line is 0. And if you remember back the other day when we talked about special cases of lines, one of those was the 0 slope line, which is a horizontal line that extends forever in both directions. It has no change in the y direction, only change in the x direction. Yes? Come on in.
Dad called again and wants to know how to find the slope of a vertical line.
Okay, tell him I'll call him back. Thank you. Okay, so I've got some things to deal with here at home regarding slope. So let me give you one more example. Let's say I've got a vertical line. Don't have any points on it yet, so I went ahead and picked 2 points. I have the point -2, -2, 3, and then I pick the point -2, -5. Notice both of these points are on the vertical line. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay. Let's calculate the slope. Change in y is equal to 3 minus -5. The change in x is equal to -2 minus a -2. This will be positive, this will be positive. So we're left with 8 over -2 plus 2. Well, that's 0, isn't it? So now I've got a number divided by 0. And I know you guys remember that that means that it's undefined. So the slope of the vertical line is undefined. See how it never changes? See how it never changes in the x direction? It doesn't go this way, it doesn't go that way, it only goes up and down. Well, what that does is it puts a 0 in our denominator. There's never any change in x. So it will always be 0 in the denominator, which is an undefined number. So our slope here is undefined.